Welcome to the Four Geeks podcast, where we share everything about business, technology, growth marketing, and provide advice on how startups can build their products and predict revenue. Thank you for tuning in. Don't miss our new episodes every week. This podcast is produced by Four Geeks Productions.
Ever find yourself, rushing to the bank on a Friday afternoon, only to get stuck in that epic line of people who had the exact same idea?
Yeah, not exactly the way anyone wants to spend their Friday, right? Well, what if I told you there's a way to make those banking nightmares a thing of the past? That's actually what we're going to be diving into today, this whole exciting world of digital banking, and more importantly, what it actually means for you, for your financial life. We've got a whole stack of research and articles here, and trust me, it gets interesting.
It is fascinating how quickly things can change, how consumer behavior can disrupt, like a whole industry. I mean, banks were pretty comfortable with, the way things were for a long time, but these articles really show it at digital-first banking. It's not like a trend anymore. It's the future. Yeah, and some of these sources, well, they don't really hold back, do they? They basically say traditional banks are kind of scrambling to catch up with customers who, expect everything to be digital, like now.
Exactly. And it's not even just about online banking anymore, right? People want these personalized experiences. They want 24/7 access, services that just fit into their lives.
Okay, so let's get into the specifics here. There was this Deloitte research that really jumped out at me. It said nearly 60% of banking customers, they prefer to manage their money online. And thinking about how much younger generations rely on technology, that number's, it's only going up from there, right? But it's not just about convenience, is it? There's some serious advantages to this whole shift, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Just think about it. 24/7 access to your accounts. You've got personalized financial insights right there at your fingertips. You even get tailored recommendations to help you actually reach your financial goals, all from an app.
Yeah, no more racing the clock to make it to the bank before closing time, right? It's like having a personal financial assistant, right in your pocket, minus the awkward small talk, of course.
Exactly. And we can't forget about the security aspect either. That's something that companies like Four Geeks are really, really focused on. They're developing that cutting edge cybersecurity to make sure, keep your financial data safe. We're talking AI that can instantly spot suspicious transactions, based on your spending patterns and everything.
Okay, see, now that's reassuring, especially with all the the data breaches we hear about all the time. It feels like every week there's another headline, right?
Oh, yeah. No, it's a valid concern for sure. But the industry is definitely responding to that. And it's not even just about, strong passwords anymore. Think multi-factor authentication, encryption that would, make a secret agent proud.
So like a digital fortress around your money.
Exactly. But beyond all of that, there's another really important thing highlighted in these articles, this idea of financial inclusion. Digital platforms, you see, they can reach people that traditional banks, haven't always served so well.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine a world where, it doesn't matter where you live or what your background is. It doesn't limit your access to financial services, right? That's the potential we're talking about here. In fact, Statista said they actually found that over half of banking customers globally, they're already relying on, those mobile banking apps for their everyday transactions. Wow. Okay, that's a pretty clear sign that things are changing and fast. But, this all sounds kind of almost too good to be true. What about the challenges? What about the downsides of this whole digital transformation?
Right. Yeah. It's not a perfect system yet. One big hurdle for those traditional banks is definitely the competition they're facing from all those fintech startups popping up. It's like those startups are speedboats, and the banks are these big cargo ships. The startups are nimble, they're innovative, and they are totally laser focused on that digital experience.
They're writing the rules of digital banking while these big banks are still trying to figure out where to buy the ink, right?
Exactly. Startups, they don't have the burden of those outdated systems, so they can adapt to new trends so much faster, and they're really raising the bar for what customers expect these days.
So how can these traditional banks even compete? Do they just throw money at the problem and hope for the best?
It's got to be more strategic than that, right? That's where companies like, like 4Geeks come in. They help those bigger institutions transition from like their old legacy systems to something more modern, something more flexible, like those cloud-based solutions. Think of it like swapping out that old clunky engine for something that's, built for speed and efficiency.
Okay, so less of a makeover, more like a complete system upgrade.
Precisely. And it's not just about, keeping up with the competition, although, I mean, that's obviously a big part of it. This digital shift can actually, help banks save money in the long run, which I'm sure they love. McKinsey, they estimated that banks could reduce their operating costs by as much as 25% through digital transformation.
Wow. Okay, now that gets their attention, I'm sure. But, we're talking a lot about efficiency, innovation, all that, but what about the human side of things?
Yeah.
Will we ever actually talk to a real person again at a bank?
That's a great question. And the answer is, most likely yes, but it's not going to look the way it used to, right? The future of banking isn't just digital. It's about creating this seamless experience that blends the best of both worlds, what they call like omni-channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine like you're applying for a loan, okay? You can start the whole process online, but then if you have a question, you can seamlessly jump into a video chat with an actual loan officer.
So you're saying we won't be totally left alone to navigate this digital world?
Not at all. You might even choose to stop by a branch, like to sign those final papers, all at your own convenience, right? It's about giving you the choice, the control over how you interact with your bank.
Okay, that makes sense. But this whole transition, this move to a more, digital future, it feels like a lot is riding on technology just like working perfectly all the time, right? What about when it doesn't? What happens if there's like a big outage or even worse, like a cyber attack?
Yeah, I mean, those are the things that, keep me up at night sometimes. Like we're putting so much trust in technology, it makes you wonder, are banks really ready for those what if moments? Oh, for sure. It's critical. And honestly, it's something that they are investing in like heavily. They've got, whole teams dedicated to this stuff, the cybersecurity. They're constantly testing, looking for those vulnerabilities. And most importantly, they're creating those backup plans just in case to make sure things keep running smoothly.
Okay, well, that's good to hear, at least. It sounds like they're taking it seriously, those risks. But with all this change happening, sometimes it feels like, we're just along for the ride, like what can we, the customers, actually do to like be proactive about our finances in this whole new digital world?
I love that you asked that because it brings up a really important point. You're not just a passenger in all of this. This shift, this move to like a more digital, more customer focused model, it's in a lot of ways happening because of consumers, because of people like you.
You're right. We're the ones asking for more from our banks.
Exactly. And that's why it's so crucial to stay informed, ask those questions, really understand the tools, the options out there. Don't be afraid to like shop around a bit, try out different platforms, see what they offer, and then choose what actually fits you best, what aligns with your needs, with your values.
So it's like anything else, really be an informed consumer. Right? Mm-hmm. Don't just accept the way things are, do your research and find what works.
Precisely. And never hesitate to, ask your bank those tough questions. Ask about their security, what they're doing about data privacy, how they're using all this technology to actually make your banking experience better.
Like you said earlier, I mean, this is our financial future we're talking about here. It's way too important to just leave it up to chance. We've got to be a part of this whole digital transformation.
Exactly. Embrace the power of technology, take control of your finances, see what's possible now, right? And most importantly, just never stop learning, never stop asking those questions.
This has been a fascinating deep dive into this whole world of digital banking. I really appreciate you breaking it all down for us and reminding us that we've got more power than we think when it comes to our money.
The pleasure was all mine. And remember, the future of banking, it's being shaped right now, and we all have a hand in it.
That's a great point to end on. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deeper.
That's all for today. Thank you all for joining us. For more ideas on how to grow your business with marketing and technology on your side, or a recap of our latest episodes, feel free to check out our 4Geeks Global social media. If you need additional help to bring out the best in your business, don't be shy and get in touch with us at 4geeks.io/contact. See you soon with a new episode.